Hi, everybody. This is Shlomi Ron again, CEO of Visual Storytelling Institute, recording our monthly Visual Storytelling Today podcast from Miami. And today I have a very special guest. You know, I try to bring people with very interesting perspectives. And I'm sure you've heard a lot about blockchain, and, you know, the topic is loaded with a lot of misinformation. So I figured to tackle blockchain, but from a visual storytelling perspective. And for this reason, I invited a crypto artist that uses blockchain to create amazing artwork. His name is FractalEncrypt, and I saw some of his work, and is quite fascinating the way he's developing digital artwork using blockchain and mathematical formulas, which is another angle. When you think about artists, typically it's use a brush and a canvas, but this guy is doing it completely with pixels and mathematics. So it's going to be a fascinating journey for anyone that's interested in learning about both blockchain and specifically with Cryptoart. So welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. That was an amazing introduction.
Thanks. So what I was thinking we could do just to kind of, level the playing field for a lot of folks here that are entrepreneurs, marketers, that most likely heard the word blockchain. So maybe if you can give us a little bit of the definition of what blockchain is and where crypto art fits within this world.
Okay, that is an extremely tough question to try to distill down, but we'll try to give a very basic answer. So,
okay.
In a broad sense, blockchain is like an open shared database that you and I and anybody in the community can connect to. And almost it's like accounting software in a sense. And so we can verify whether things are correct or not. And that's very important because it's a system that doesn't use any trusted third party. So you don't have to trust me to be fair. You could just look in your wallet and your software will verify whether I sent you money or not. Right. So that's where it all started. I've been building on top of this concept of blockchain since 2009, and it's gone pretty much to the moon and back in terms of what people have tried to do. What it can actually do and what people want it to do sometimes don't always meet in the middle, but it's something that not a lot of people understand. So it's a perfect thing for visual storytelling because most people can't learn by just reading walls of text about cryptography, but they can understand visual images. So I think as an artist, this gives me a great opportunity to kind of teach people about this without having to go in depth into the technicals. Is that a good start there?
No, that's perfect. Because I know that a lot of people think about blockchain in the context of Bitcoin, and
of course,
and that's one element of it. And there's a bunch of other currencies that you told me about. But I was kind of curious because we met, in a Venture Cafe, which is a networking event in Miami that brings every Thursday speakers, and you were one of the speakers about blockchain. So you talked a little bit about crypto art, and that's what kind of caught my attention because it's really quite fascinating what you do with crypto art using blockchain, because I never heard about this combination. I typically hear about blockchain in the sense of people, using Bitcoins to purchase, do transactions, buy real estate, all that, but it was never in the context of crypto art. So maybe if you can connect us to the crypto art element.
That's a great connection to what I was saying before, how, it began as a financial technology and now it's blossomed into more than that. So one of the things, what I was showing you was art that we were putting on the Ethereum blockchain. So Ethereum is similar to Bitcoin. They try and run a world computer basically. So it's the whole world is networked through these, you and me, all through our computers.
Right.
And one of the things you can do on that is issue. So I've been using that to issue art assets. So instead of making a print run on canvases of, 1 of 50 prints, I can do that cryptographically. So instead of signing with a pen, I'm signing with a cryptographic PGP key. So I'm saying this is my public key, and anybody can verify this and say, whether this is my art or not. So it's a really revolutionary technology, because in the past, as an artist, I could never monetize my digital work. You just put your art on the internet and anybody can copy paste it and, replicate it a million times. The thing about the graphic signature is that if someone doesn't have that token, they can't verify a piece is real. So it's given me a way to do something that was just never possible before. That's interesting as an artist to me.
Absolutely. And what was kind of your journey? How you kind of fell into this? Because obviously you didn't start creating crypto art, at day one. So.
Sure. Well, interestingly enough, it was the art that led me into it. I had a guy in Brazil contact me on Facebook back in 2015, and he just said, "Hey, can I pay you in Bitcoin?" They just didn't have a good credit card system or whatever it was there. And I had heard of it, and I said, "Sure, I just don't know how to accept that." So he told me, he said, "Oh, you go to this website and you can actually set up your wallet and just give me you copy the address, send it to me, and I'll send you the money." And I said, "Okay." And so I sent it to him. He sent me the Bitcoin. And at that time, I think Bitcoin was only worth about $200 or $230 each. So he sent me like 3 Bitcoin at the time. Yeah, I just forgot about it.
I see.
And, I didn't really come up again. It wasn't something I was using a lot. And I'd say like a year later, a friend of mine said, "Hey, do you know anywhere I can get Bitcoin? A friend of mine needs some." And I looked at the price and it had almost tripled at that time. I said, "Well, sure." I said, "I have a couple." And so he bought most of what I had there. I think I had 3.1. He took 3 of them.
I see.
And I had tripled my money. So from my art sale, $400 or $500, now I had almost thousands of dollars. I was, amazed by this. So that kind of caught my attention all of a sudden. And I had a small fraction of Bitcoin left over, maybe $10 at the time. That same person called me in September of 2017, and he said, "Hey, do you still have that Bitcoin?" I said, "Well, yeah, but it's only like $10 worth." He said, "Well, no, you need to check your thing. It's worth $4,000 a Bitcoin right now." Said, "No, it's not."
Wow.
I checked, and this little bits of Bitcoin had turned into $400. And over the next few months, I just kind of watched that $400 turn into $2,000 by December of 2017. And I said, "This is crazy." So then I actually just started really getting into it and learning, what was going on here. Why are people interested in this? And the more I started learning, the more sexy it all became to me. It was just so involved in such a really revolutionary system. It just captured my imagination. And then pretty much from there on in, I've been hooked.
I see. Got it. So it started really as a hobby, something that you kind of were able to combine your art with a simple means to transact in a way that is safe and also get you into a new world that you were not aware of before. So that's great. So maybe now that we have a little bit information about this blockchain, I'm sure there's tons of places we can still learn more about it, but can you give us like your definition for visual storytelling in the context of crypto art? How those two elements, how you can create visual stories using crypto arts?
There's actually so many ways that you can do this, because crypto art gives you a lot of different avenues that you can explore. Also, there's a lot of different definitions of crypto art. So I guess let me just step back for a second, and we'll kind of describe the different levels of crypto art. Because to one degree, it could just be pictures of Bitcoins or pictures of Ethereum symbols, something like that could be crypto art. Right. You could also have crypto art like I'm showing you, where it's something that you're actually somehow putting it on the blockchain. And that's a little more involved, where you're somehow uploading files to something called IPFS, which is Interplanetary File System. It's another decentralized web system.
Right.
And once your files are there, then you can also tokenize it. So there's cryptographically signed pieces that are crypto art, and then there's crypto designs. So either one of those I would consider crypto art. Either one of them lends themselves to visual storytelling in the sense that no one really understands these technologies. So anything is an opportunity to teach. So realistically, any piece of art, I feel like it should always contain some kind of information. You should always be telling the viewer something. And I like to also have it be encoded